Hey everyone, it's the one and only magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm back at it with another character review, and this character review will be on the brand new Gold Mythic Amber, who literally just came into the game tonight. By the time this is uploaded, it will have been last night. So yeah, we got a new character to go over, and before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there and staying cool out there from all this hot weather. I'm doing good and I'm staying safe for the most part, and I'm staying cool as well. And if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Feel free to leave a comment down below and share the video if you would like to. If you do any of those four things, that would be very much appreciated by me. And if you haven't, make sure you check out the first part of the game of life that I played. I posted that. It wasn't too long from now. It was about, I don't know, about a day or so ago from now. But yeah, feel free to check that out if you want to. But enough of me just going on and on. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Amber, Saviors. Her trait is strong. Her role is a damage dealer. And her allegiance is a member of the Saviors. Let's take a look at her stats. Her attack stat is 49,542. Her defense is 15,890. And her HP is 28,043. Let's take a look at her adrenaline rush. Wide slice. The recharge rate is 66 AP, so that's pretty much the standard for most gold mythics. Deal 1000% damage to the target and all adjacent enemies, and they will get minus 20% AP for 2 turns. This fighter gets focus for the rest of combat. I mean, I don't really need to go into this a whole lot. It's pretty simple. She's doing 1000% damage to whoever you're targeting, plus all adjacent enemies. And if somehow that target survives, which is going to be less than likely, but there is a slim chance that they could somehow withstand that damage. If they can somehow survive that 1000% damage, they're going to get 20 AP for 2 turns, plus Amber is going to be getting focus for the rest of combat. So, you know, if you get that adrenaline rush off, oh, it's over. You know, plus she's a decap tune, which, I mean, spoiler alert, but, you know, we're going to get to that, but the fact that she's a decap doing that kind of damage, ooh, you know, you better take care of her quickly, otherwise it'll be over. Very simple. She's potentially taking out, like, I would say 99% of the time going to take that target out. Plus, she's going to get focus. That means she won't be able to be taunted, confused, and she'll bypass human shields. That's pretty good. Not much to say. Nothing really negative about this adrenaline rush at all. Let's take a look at her signature move. Positional cuts. The initial cooldown is turn 1. 2 turns for the cooldown. Number of uses unlimited. Make a critical attack against an enemy for 500% damage. If the target is in the front row, stun them for 2 turns. If the target is in the back row, impair them for 2 turns instead. Okay, I got you. So, she somewhat has a little bit of control there, even though she's mainly doing damage. However, if you're focusing in on a real tanky defensive tune, the question is, who do you want stunned and who is it that you want impaired? It depends on the line and who's in what position in said line. So it definitely, you know, I don't see anything bad about this signature move. Doing 500% damage, it's a nice little warm-up to the main event, so pretty good. I don't really have nothing negative to say so far. She's doing a lot of damage, and she's a decap tune. I mean, there's not really nothing really negative to say so far, so pretty good adrenaline rush, pretty good signature move. Let's take a look at her mythic abilities. Agility, 20% increase in basic attack damage. Not really gonna say a whole lot, as you should be with all of your damage dealers. You need to go ahead and level up agility, as it will help her do even more damage than she's already doing. So, there you go. Nothing really to it. Clustered sickness. Before this fighter performs their adrenaline rush, the target and all adjacent enemies will get 100% heal reduction for 2 turns. Okay, this is quite interesting, because if I remember correctly, the very last Amber in the game, which in fact I think was an S-Class Amber, if I'm not mistaken, and I believe that version of Amber also had heal reduction. So it's quite interesting that Amber, it seems like she's pretty consistent with having heal reduction in her kit somewhere, which is kind of can be really good, obviously. I mean, heal reduction, 100% heal reduction, that's going to be really good. So, yeah, that means that the enemies and the target that you were targeting, that they won't be able to heal, which is going to be a really good thing for Amber. If they are to somehow survive the adrenaline rush, they won't be able to heal. So, that will ensure, at least for 2 turns, that it's more than likely she's going to take that target out, and possibly maybe other tunes as well. So, I would definitely level this one up if you're planning on going for Amber. Last one standing. At the start of each turn, this fighter gets 10% AP for each dead enemy. So, okay, this is kind of interesting, because, you know, Amber will get 10, did I say 10%? Anyway, it works the same way. So Amber will be getting 10 AP per each dead enemy. So if you have 4 dead enemies, that's 40 AP. That's going to be really good. So I mean, it's not like, do I think it's necessary? Yeah, you know what? I think I would go ahead and level this one up. So far, her mythic abilities there's nothing negative about them so far, but I'm just thinking of it as a level of importance. And last one standing, you know, yeah, I would level it up. there's not really a whole lot here to say. She's doing a lot of damage, and she potentially will be getting AP from other places without even hitting anybody, which is going to be really good. So, yeah, I would level that one up. Fleet of Foot. Okay, a weird one, a weird name for... Okay, whatever. At the start of each wave, this fighter gets 100% AP. So, it's like Amber. Not only is she a decap toon, it's like she's a amped toon. So, it's like she has 2 specialist skills in one toon, even though she only has 1 specialist skill. And that, there's a toon that reminds me of that particular thing very much. St. Patty's Day Rosita. She's a devastating blow character, but she also gives out guardian shields at the same, whenever she hits an opponent, right? Whenever she's dealing critical attacks. So, except she doesn't have to do any damage, so that's why I'm saying that comparison, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but for one toon to have 2 specialist skills without actually having 2 specialist skills, that's quite nice. For her to be a decap toon and an amped toon, I would 100% level that one up. Although it won't happen every turn, but you might not need it to happen every turn, so the battle could be over just like that, essentially, with Amber. Really good. Nothing negative. Obviously, let's look at her specialist skill. Decapitate. When this fighter lands the killing blow on a target, that target cannot be revived. Yup, they get hit by Amber, the target is done. Out of here. Goodbye. Simple as that. Now, let's take a look at her weapon, because she has a bound weapon. Amber's Savage Scythe. 40% attack, a huge bonus to AP when attacking. Bonus attack, 150% attack when attacking enemies with less than 50% of their HP. Superior rush damage, increase rush damage by 50%. Well, normally, I'm not a fan of bonus attack. I would rather have some kind of healing stun, or maybe some kind of weapon that gives out impair or confuse. But however, on this toon, bonus attack, Forsaken Michonne, I'm just bringing her up for a second. Forsaken Michonne's base weapon has bonus attack on it. Similar to this, but not exact. I mean, we'll take a look at it to kind of see. But anyway, this is about Amber exclusively. But I'm gonna take a look at that when we get done. But anyway, that bonus attack for Amber is going to be quite nice. Plus, she's going to be increasing her rush damage by 50%. Honestly, the best way to go with this weapon is go for 55% attack. Now, if you want to try out other weapons on her, you can definitely switch in different weapons from time to time if you really want to. But her base weapon, I would say, is very good. It will definitely... she's going to be a killing machine, absolutely. Yeah, so, I really don't have much negative things to say about Amber. Obviously, she's a really hard-hitting toon, and she's going to be decapping people left and right. Plus, this is her signature look in the comics. There was a version of Amber in the TV show, but however, they never really did anything with her, right? Like, she was in season 7, and then, there's a whole one of the episodes of season 7, the Negan's wives, this is when Eugene is in the sanctuary, and they want Eugene's help in killing Negan, right? Because they ask him to make them some sleeping pills or whatever to try to take out Negan that way. And after that episode, I don't think Amber is ever brought up or mentioned again. Like, did the actress, did she not want to continue the role, or did AMC think that character wasn't important enough? I mean, she wasn't exactly doing a whole lot, but it's like kind of just like one of those things, like, oh, also, like, oh, what happened to Heath, right? That's a whole thing that I'm sure will probably never get answered. So, Heath was in the first half of season 7. Boom, he disappears, never to be seen again. I mean, did the CRM get him? Well, we don't know. If they did, they sure as hell didn't tell us. But anyway, let's real quick, I just want to look, and then we'll go back to Amber. Let me go into my roster. I gotta find Michonne, Forsaken Michonne. Let's look at her base weapon. So, okay, so 45% attack. So yeah, she doesn't quite have 150% attack on her base weapon, but Amber and Forsaken Michonne, they have similar third slots. Not like all the way similar, but I mean, they're kind of similar. But what are your, I don't really have much else to say. This is kind of a shorter one, so yeah, that's all I got for you guys for today. What are your thoughts on Gold Mythic Amber? And are you going to be pulling for her? And, if you are planning on pulling for her, what kind of teams are you going to put her in? I mean, me, if I was going to pull for her, which, I mean, there would be one reason I would pull for her, but I just don't. It's not because exclusively only for her. It's because I would want to go after Danny, but I really don't have the funds to do something like that right now, unfortunately. And you can't do much of the Saviors from Hell free to play without paying for it. So, if I had the funds, I probably would go ahead and pull for her. That way I could get about 1 or 2 copies of Danny. Trying to go for 3 copies, that's a little bit too much. But I mean, if I had the funds to do it, I would. But anyway, if you are going to pull for Gold Mythic Amber, I probably would put her behind the Anniversary Maggie leader. That way, in case you come up against any of the Payback Vengeance tunes, she's protected in that aspect. So, you can definitely put her in a Maggie team, and she'll work just fine. She'll definitely be protected from the Payback and Vengeance potential damage, at least for 2 turns. So yeah, if you're gonna pull for her, let me know what kind of teams you are gonna put her in, and let me know if you have pulled her already. Is she as really good as she's advertised to be, or maybe she's a little disappointing? And also let me know if you are not going to pull for her. And if you have any other thoughts on Gold Mythic Amber or The Walking Dead Road to Survival in general, feel free to let me know down below. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or, if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.